This is the weekend review and forecast for the SPY for 1/1/2022. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is my stock, Bitcoin, gold, and silver daily market recaps. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, and this is the S&P 500 SPY ETF weekend review. Hope everyone's doing well. Again, starting off the Discord room, always dropping a ton of knowledge, tons of stuff going on. Let's get into it because let's jump into my notes here. The month-to-month calendar, you got earnings season coming up. Typically, the market will rise into earnings season. Typically, the first couple weeks of January are bullish. It's considered the January effect. That's what they call it. Again, now, when I say seasonality, expectations, month-to-month calendar, keep in mind, this is if things are just fine and dandy, normal. Nothing comes out of it, nothing comes out that's mind-boggling, that changes the whole concept of the markets, the economy, meaning a COVID variant, nuclear weapon. I mean, again, you don't know, a currency collapse. There's always a million things that can pop out of nowhere. But as of right now, the markets seem fine. We talked about this last week, or the monthly, let's just jump into the monthly again. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you watch multiple videos, you're going to realize that there's a ton of content here. I'm not some beginner numbnuts. I've been doing this a long time. I know how the markets work, and I love to teach and help out because it just makes me better. Again, I don't need to charge for content because ultimately I just trade what I'm talking about. I mean, it's that simple. So I hope everyone's having a good New Year's, and let's get into it. I'm trying to draw this. It's a little dirty. It's not as clean, but SPY monthly, it's wild to think that in 2019, 2020, again, we predicted this drop. If you know me and you come by Discord room, ask anyone, we talked about this because of all the obvious evidence in that doji was telling in January. But we had a doji last month, and we talked about the markets, as long as the central banks continue to pump money, they really can't drop for that long of a period of time. I mean, the monthly is telling you that. We had this, one of these hammer dojis, and what happens? It just got all eaten up and taken back, and so we're still going higher. I mean, that just seems obvious. So there's the monthly. I don't really see anything wrong with it. And again, if you're expecting seasonality runs in January, then why not? And again, I always apologize for this computer because my main computer has 8 screens. I always have to just run these e-signal charts here, and never looks the same, but let's just get into the weekly. So the weekly looks interesting because, the 20 week has been holding. You've had some wicks below it. We held it recently, and now we have this little hammer. Again, I don't give it a ton of credence because of the light volume holiday weeks. I mean, just, again, if whatever you're thinking about with the markets, I always tell people this, you need more evidence. Sometimes you need more evidence to make a sound decision, and hence why if you're partial trading versus all or nothing gambling. So if you did short the market at the highs, you need more information to confirm this isn't just backfilling and chop before higher highs. You know what I mean? You can get in at levels. You have 3 days, and we talk about 3-day ranges a ton, or 2-day ranges. You could have used these ranges as your entry for a short, and then let it go. And I mean, again, it's it's hard to be a bear with what's going on in the economy because, I mean, I've seen bear markets, and I've been thinking there was going to be one in 2001 or 2021, and that was wrong. I mean, luckily I have malleable thinking. I'm not just stuck and married to a thought process, but we talked about this. I mean, if you go back and watch the previous weekend recaps, market recaps, we said, what is this? It's a double bottom W pattern. And when you see a double bottom W pattern on the SPY at the 100-day moving average, you got to be thoughtful. And when I say thoughtful, you got to be this might hold. And so some people were shorting. Those were great trades. I didn't get any short in because I just don't think the risk was worth the reward. There's not a ton of downside shorting at this moment. And then you had 5 straight days of up. And so everyone's is the market going to spill? And does this look like a spill, or does it more look like just chop? Again, big run up and chop. Does it do this, or is it chop and then we continue rising? I mean, that's ultimately what you have. Why, again, if you're shorting the market, you'll know when I'm short because I'm going to wait for a lower high or some sort of retest. I don't like seeing these new highs in the SPY. That doesn't really make me feel bearish. I mean, I see higher highs and higher lows. It's not bearish. So now we're looking at the daily. What do you expect for next week? Well, I would think at worst you backfill the 272.50 area. I mean, this black line. And then I think we should start heading higher into the middle of January. Again, you have the January effect. You have earnings, which is typically bullish. Keep in mind, earnings is bullish because CEOs are going to try to cheerlead. They're not going to ever come out there and say, we suck, economy is the worst, we can't make money. No, they're always going to say, future looks bright, things look good, we're doing well. And now each individual stock will react differently, but just keep it in mind. Like, that's why seasonality of earnings is bullish. So if you see a little backfill in front of earnings, that's pretty normal, actually. And a lot of people, it kind of blows their mind that this every year happens. And if we look at the previous January, let's look at what happened. You had you had a January nice up pullback, and then eventually the February is when you got the real pullback. And then the markets are what they are, but every year is a little different. But at this point, I don't see anything dangerous about the market. So if you're a bear, you need more evidence. And if you're a bear, what you need to see is a takeout of this area with volume. Like, you want to see something confirm it. You don't want to see this bullshit action of just chopping, because again, then what's ultimately happened, it's going to rip back up. And what sucks about why I feel bad for bears is, like, every time you get a win, it just unwinds immediately. I mean, short 3 days, bam, and you just get ripped right back. So the mechanics of the market with the central banks and what's going on, it just doesn't seem conducive to shorting at the moment. There will be a time we will identify it, but I hope this kind of stuff helps. I do daily market recaps, do tons of alerts, do tons of back to basics, like learning, like just all sorts of stuff on the channel, so that if you're newer to trading, or even if you've been trading for a while but you want, and this is what I used to pay for, services that would give me updates of what's going on. Because if you don't have the time to look at everything in the market all the time, then you're missing pieces of the puzzle. I mean, think of a puzzle. If you're missing one piece, sometimes the puzzle's not complete. And that's literally what can happen with the markets is, say you're trading the Qs, but you're not paying attention to Apple or Tesla or, Amazon, whatever you want to call it. Or if you're not watching, we've been talking about gold, and if you're not watching the dollar, and there's a million other variables if you're not familiar with. So I hope this helps. Stop by the Discord room. Always there to try to answer questions. I got a team of friends that are always helping out. If you watch these videos and you're getting this and you're not subscribing, then tell me why. Again, I love the feedback. I want to know why people would not want to subscribe after watching this far. Because again, if you need help and you want to learn how to trade, I'm trying to make this channel to fit people like yourself, because ultimately teaching is the best way of giving back, but also too, it reinforces my confirmation of what I know and keeps me on point. If you have to be in front of someone constantly coaching them and teaching them, it means you need to be prepared, and that helps me stay prepared. So have a great weekend. I will see you guys and gals. Thanks for watching. For more trading knowledge and insight, click on the videos on the right, and also join the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions, please stop on by the Discord room and let's chat. Thank you.